wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and tonight I am adding another person to my NYWC Hall of Fame because if it wasn't for NYWC, as I told my guests before, we were here. NYWC is an indie promotion from Long Island, New York, and if it wasn't for NYWC, I would never know about what's the inner workings of like the indie promotion. So, without further ado, introduce yourself to my internationally known audience.
Oh, this is big man shit. Jorge La Bestia with Joe, my man Joe at Dudes at Ringside.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, who trained you?
So originally, before I joined NYWC, this was years ago, back in probably like late 2007 or early 2008. I actually started at for this promotion, PWR, Pro Wrestling Revolution, but they're no longer around. Uh, that was at a church that I used to go to in Dix Hills.
I know Dick Cells, yeah.
So that ran for a little bit. So I was training under Johnny Ova and Luscious Joe Sloan and Brimstone and Mike Magnum.
Oh,
So
wow,
that's
Magnum.
why I
Huh.
first started.
Another name that I remember, Mike Magnum. Yep,
Yeah.
old school. It's one thing that everybody like is more exposed to the like the WWEs and
Mhm.
the indies. But for you, who got you into wanting to be in like this big fancy fun world of the pro wrestling?
Yeah. So I always watched wrestling since I was a kid. I always loved it. Didn't really know anybody in wrestling, so there was this actually a wrestler that attended our church that I used to go to, and they started this. I guess they call it like a wrestling ministry or promotion. So they started that, and that kind of got me. All right, I want to join this. I want to get into this. So that's how it started from there.
Awesome. So, like, is there anywhere else in the world or like within the New York, like the tri-state area that you have not been to yet, and you've been like frothing at the mouth to get to that place yet?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Uh, I don't have anything in mind right now. No. I mean, NYWC is where it's at.
Yeah, I hood
Yeah.
that hoodie is fire, man. I do
Oh,
love that
thank
hoodie.
you. Thank you.
Fire. I love hoodies. So yeah, I have one suggestion for you. If you ever come to Pennsylvania, you should definitely come check out PPW in Slatington, Pennsylvania.
Okay. I think I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of them. Yeah.
They do their
Okay.
shows on Saturday nights and they're always live on Fight TV.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yes. Yes. They have a
Hey.
show on November 11th and they're doing a trios
Mhm.
tournament.
Okay.
There's a few wrestlers in that promotion, like Lucius Crow, Phil Insane. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of I can't name everybody, but there's so many wrestlers in that promotion that I was talking to your women's champion the last time, my last guest from NYWC,
Yeah.
and your women's champion, and I was like telling her that I would love to see a PPW versus NYWC, like,
Okay.
and have like the NYWC Women's Champion versus the PPW Women's Champion because I don't know, I think it'd be a good match, and like, oh my gosh, there's so many wrestlers that I would love to see like go one on one. So if you had to make a like list of wrestlers that you've been wanting to work with,
Hmm.
and like it doesn't only have to be an NYWC. It could be from anywhere you've seen on YouTube or like the Instagram or Facebook.
Hmm.
Who would that be?
Hmm. Damn, that's a tough question.
Oh no.
uh, there's so many. There's so many. Um, you know what? Well, there's this one kid I gotta wrestle. I gotta have a match with. Um, he's gonna be debuting for NYWC very soon. Cooper Valentine. I want to
Ooh,
work him.
Is
I
he
only have
is he
one.
doing the business, or has he been in the business for a while?
No, he's one of our students, and he's going to be coming up soon. So
Ooh.
look out for that kid.
Hear that, Cooper? I think you have a future opponent in your hands, but I don't know. I think you could take him. He's kind of green. He looks like Kermit. You know what I mean? Like Howard's coming down the aisle with the color of Slimer, Cooper Valentine. You need a trap. He's too green. You need to get a lake for him. He's a he's a frog. He's so green.
Yeah,
So
I also got another one though.
okay.
Rex Lawless.
Ooh, Rex. Oh yeah, Rex. Everybody wants a piece of Rex. I remember when I came to I went to a show in like a few years ago. Went was outside of a church. I actually got a chance to see when Rex was still NYWC champion.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a while back, but I remember when he was champion.
I think that'll be sick. Big man versus big man, right there.
Yeah. Oh geez, it's like Warrior versus Hogan all over again. Oh no. Put extra like bricks under the ring. It's gonna collapse. Yo, jeez. So, what is your normal like schedule like leading up to like a show? Like, what is your schedule like?
Oh, my schedule is always busy with work every day, and of course, after work I'll go to train Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. So that's pretty much my schedule.
Mm.
Like,
So, what is like your like when you week the day before a show? What are you eating? How do you prepping it? Do you eat like really good like pasta and like chicken that's a rotisserie, or do you go to like the local like bodega and get the beautiful deluxe like rice and beans and pernil? What do you do?
there
What
we
do you
go.
do?
Gotta help the Spanish deli. Gotta help a bodega, man. That's where it's at. I mean, come on.
That's one thing I miss about being in Long Island. You can find any if you go to any place like within like the Suffolk County. Not saying Nassau doesn't have it, but Suffolk, we got it. We Long Island, we got our bodegas.
That's right. For me, I gotta have my pupusas now.
Ooh.
Pupusas all the way.
What is that? So my fans from UK that are not familiar with
Mhm.
all that fun stuff we do in the Hispanic culture, what is that?
So it's a Salvadorian dish. It's pretty much kind of like a tortilla. We got some like meat and beans and cheese inside, or you could have just with cheese. It's really awesome. It's amazing.
Ooh, sounds delicious. I could already see half of my European audience going, "How to make a pupusa?" The British voice. I had to have the "How to make a pupusa," not that. Keep scrolling, you nasties. um, so do you collect anything when you like? You collect anything within wrestling that you've had with your career, or do you collect any pops or stuff like that?
uh, Definitely pops for sure. I have a few pops. I haven't bought in a while, but um, also wrestling figures I got.
Mm.
That's another collection I have.
Ooh, what is your pop numbers on now? Like how many pops do you have?
Uh, Probably at least a little over 100 right now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you got me by a lot. I have two out of the box. I have Slimer and Stay Puft, which they're both looking at me. I have Rey Mysterio, which I got at Amazon. Actually, if you may want to see this one. I don't know if you already have it. I have a Rey Mysterio Amazon exclusive.
I don't have that one. That looks sick though.
Yes, it kind of when I got it for Christmas, I was like my birthday. I was like, ooh. And then I also have Ted DiBiase with the belt on his shoulder, and I have Zack Ryder, which is this is when he was in WWE. My friend gave it to me for my birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have the one and only Paul Heyman.
They got
Yeah,
Paul Heyman one?
yeah. There's a Paul, but it's not his new Paul Heyman. It's
No.
ECW Paul Heyman.
Okay.
See,
Okay, sick.
they had that at GameStop. I don't know if they still have it or not, but they had it for a long time. It
Mhm.
came. The pops that were in the same group were Stone Cold, China, Edge when now he's in AEW, um, McIntyre, and Otis when he was Money in the Bank,
Okay.
which I didn't even realize he was Money in the Bank.
I forgot he was money in the. He had the
Yeah,
money in
look, here's Otis with the Money in the Bank.
the.
Did WWE forget that? Like, did they forget they gave Otis the big tree trunk a Money in the Bank tournament like win? Like, how did he not win that and turn heel? Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't wouldn't you think like like what do you think about like the wrestlers now that you see on WWE TV and AEW TV? What do you think about them?
I like WWE. I haven't been caught up with AEW as much. WWE, I feel like they're more storyline based and telling more stories in their matches, which I actually like. Um, AEW is pretty cool too. Like it's kind of like a indie but on a major level, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. So like where do you see yourself in the wrestling business within 5 to 10 years?
Mm, hopefully somewhere big. I'll go anywhere they'll pay me.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Like there's wrestlers out there that just see themselves, oh, I just want to be here. And I'm like, where's here? Like,
Yeah.
is it the indies or you see yourself going up higher to like the AEWs and getting
Mhm.
actually like there's a female wrestler I had on, Billy Stark. Shout out to Billy Stark. She was on the podcast. She was doing all her stuff in Tennessee, and look at her now. She's on AEW TV, like real, like not dark. Like she's really
Yeah.
doing her thing. Like that's amazing. So proud of
Mhm.
her. So if if my internationally known audience would like to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
Instagram Jorge underscore La Bestia. Yeah, put a little dot between the La and Bestia.
It's like with the dudes at Ringside, you have to do underscore underscore underscore. Instagram, pick up your game, bro. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, um, if my fans want to pick up any of your like merch, how can they find it?
So I do have a pro wrestling tees. You can look that up, Jorge La Bestia, and I also have a shirt that I'm only selling at shows right now. The big man shit shirts that I have.
That
So
reminds me of back in the day, another NYWC old school King Mega. Like, you
that's a
remember?
big dude. He's a big dude.
Do you remember Mega's shirt from back in the day?
No, I don't. I don't remember his shirt.
It
No.
was like Fat Man or whatever, Fat Man, Big Mega. It was something like that. And my buddy that I went to school with, he's a big dude,
Yeah.
not as big as Mega, but he was big,
Yeah.
and he would wear that, and teachers would get so offended. This is like back in the 2000s. Not we. This was not even like now in the 2020 this era with the Karens. This was like, oh my gosh, how can you say that about yourself? And Jesse, my buddy, was like, dude, I know I'm big. Like he
Yeah.
was like out about it. I'm big. So what? Get out of here. But it was like so crazy that back in those days, it was fine. Call yourself
Yeah.
call yourself fat, but nowadays it's like, oh my god, he called me fat, but you're wearing a shirt that says it. Like, oh gosh. Um, is there any shows that you have any shows coming up?
Yeah, we actually have one November 25th at the Sportatorium. Um, so far, the only match has been announced is Big O Conway for the title. That's going to be a good match right there.
Ooh, Conway. Make sure you tell Conway Joe says what's up. He's
All right.
the former. He's another. As I said, I have a wall of fame of dudes at ringside guests from the past from the NYWC.
Yeah.
Um, definitely follow this gentleman on Instagram and all of his social medias. Follow me under Instagram under Joe Panther the Third and the dudes at Ringside Podcast. I hope you're subscribed to the Joe Panther Variety Show. I'm Joe Panther the Third,
This is big man shit. Jorge La Bestia.
and we will catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.